Hey guys, JK95 here. Sorry I haven't uploaded in a while. I've been recovering from a little coughing sickness I had for about a couple weeks. But tonight I have a little important announcement to make and then a random vlog. So previously I assigned y'all wonderful people in my comment section a homework assignment on the video game Catherine Full Body. I told y'all your assignment's going to be to play the game, then write me an essay on the comment section, tell me what you think, tell me how it made you feel, if you liked it, if you don't like it, whatever. But I have canceled that assignment because none of you even bothered to do it, and the due date's approaching pretty soon. So that assignment is canceled. I was hoping to see more from certain people in my comment section, especially you, Extreme Dread. You've been my top commenter past year, 2 years almost. Moving on, I'm going to tell you about this new coat I got. In case you're wondering why I'm wearing this long black winter trench coat and where I got it, I was up at this thrift shop about 20 minutes north of where I live. I was going through the coat section and I saw this kick-ass coat. I saw it was only $15 at the thrift shop. This thing is fucking awesome. I know it's a little big on me, but shit, it was only $15. And I couldn't pass this up. I like wearing it. It even reminds me of that song Thrift Shop by Macklemore where it's like, I wear your granddad's clothes, I look incredible, I'm in this big ass coat from that thrift shop down the road. I'm gonna get some cash, only got $20 in my pocket. I'm the one hunting for $1. This is fucking awesome. I wear your granddad's clothes, I look incredible, I'm in this big ass coat from that thrift shop down the road. Kinda reminds me of that quite a bit. But moving on to the next thing I wanted to talk about in my random vlog. So yesterday there was another mass shooting out of the great state of Florida in Pensacola at this Navy air base or whatever, and 4 people died, including the suspect. The suspect was a Saudi Arabian aviation student who shall not be named. And so, not surprisingly, since the killer was a Saudi, Trump was literally saying this is not representative of the U.S. and the Saudi Arabian people. And even Saudi Arabia's King Salman said this act is barbaric and does not represent us or who we are or the Saudi Arabian people. And if this guy weren't a Saudi, they'd be jumping down the hole like he's a soldier of the Islamic State and ISIS is the true face of Islam, and they'd be blaming the Quran, his cultures, and him not being Americanized, and going on about blaming everything but the problem and whatnot. And I don't have much to say about it because I've said the same thing over and over that this is not Islam, and a lot of this is rooted in not really religion based like the media would have. A lot of it's policy hatred and so forth. But I'm gonna end it with that right now because I don't have much to say that I haven't already said. So, third thing I wanted to talk about in this vlog. Several years ago I started watching the TLC show My 600 Pound Life. Initially to feel better about myself because my life was kind of in the pits then. It kind of still is a little bit. But then I was watching it being like, hey, my life might suck, but at least I'm not that person. And then once I started watching it more and more, I saw a lot of these patients on there suffered a lot of horrible abuse when they were children and teenagers, and they turned to food as their way of comfort and their outlet for hiding their emotions. Me, when I was a preteen and a teenager, I turned to video games, anime, certain TV shows that eventually turned into drawing, creative writing, and fiction writing, and eventually hip-hop and rap. And I'm watching this show and seeing how similar some of these people's stories are to mine, and I'm like, that could have been me if I turned to food instead of more healthy outlets like what I just described. And like, even though not every story on there is a success story, because every season kind of has at least one patient who doesn't follow through with the program and just doesn't cooperate and whatnot. But there's one patient in particular who has just made my blood boil. They've done like a 3 or 4 part series on this patient and his younger brother. And the older brother in this episode just makes you want to punch the fucking TV screen. I'm talking, of course, about Stephen J. Assanti. For those of you who don't know, Stephen J. Assanti and his younger brother Justin Assanti were featured on a 2015 season finale of My 600 Pound Life, and because of Stephen's behavior on the show and his background, they ended up getting they got part 1 and 2 of their season finale, and then they got a Where Are They Now series spinoff. And the only one I feel sorry for is Justin Assanti, the younger brother. And for those of you who don't know, Stephen Assanti, prior to joining joining Dr. Yunan Nazardin's program in Houston, Stephen had gotten to ballooned to almost 800 pounds in the past, and he ran a YouTube channel back in the day called Fat Boy Get Down, where he posts videos of making a complete ass of himself on the internet. And on top of that, he's made videos of him abusing hospital staff at all the hospitals he's been in. And on top of that, this guy, Stephen Assanti, he's been on Biggest Loser at one point. He was on Dr. Phil, and Dr. Phil couldn't help him. And he's been on the news multiple times. And Stephen J. Assanti's, his biggest thing, aside from his morbid obesity, he's been doctor shopping for opioid painkillers, and to which he's addicted. And by doctor shopping, it means he'll use his lymphedema on his legs or his lower back as an excuse to get painkillers, and then he'll go to different hospitals and lie about his pain level being over an 8, because at least in the state of Texas, if your pain level's over an 8, they have to dispense the prescription strength painkillers as required by law. And Steven, he's done this crap all the time and claiming he's in pain from whatever. He even got a gastric sleeve surgery eventually. He complained about not keeping food down and having pain, but really a lot of his pain is he was abusing his lymphedema on his legs and his lower back to try to get painkillers because he was overeating a lot. At one point, he even called 911 to get an ambulance to take him to a hospital to get him more painkillers, and he's threatened people by threatening to call the news on them, and even in his videos on his Fat Boy Get Down channel, he's been in addition to abusing hospital staff, he regularly uses the N-word. And in one video, he made a video called Fuck the Taxpayers, in which he sarcastically thanks taxpayers for paying for medical needs. He's sarcastically thanked them for giving him a urinal to pee in, cans of food to eat, and pills to keep him alive, and equipment, and his laptop or his phone, his camera, and so forth. And on top of that, this guy's old YouTube videos, some of which are still up, some of which have been deleted and re-uploaded by other people. Some of these videos, even from 2017, are just fucking pathetic. He's clearly doing anything for attention, whether it be good or bad. He calls himself a sex symbol. I just laugh so hard when he says that. And one time he made a video from 2017 where he was dancing to then 14-year-old Danielle Cash Me Outside, Bad Baby Bergoli. He's Cash Me Outside remix. He was 35 years old at the time that video was filmed. He thought it'd be a good idea to dance to a 14-year-old girl's rap remix, and on top of that, he has a sideways ball cap, and he's using his CPAP tubes to tie them around his cap like a turban almost. This guy's just pathetic. I do feel very sorry for his younger brother Justin, though, because Justin Assanti has been trying to get as far away from Stephen their dad, Steven Sr., as possible. At one point, when Justin Assanti got like a gastric sleeve procedure and got painkillers to help him get through to help him out briefly afterward, their dad, Steven Sr., like, freaking came over to have a talk about Steven and Justin getting back together. And like, while he was doing that, the dad like swiped a bunch of his painkillers to give to Steven. Justin actually needed them, Steven did not. And on top of that, Justin has even owned a hobby shop up in Rhode Island, where they're from. I feel bad for the guy. I do not feel bad for Steven or their father at all. Their father's clearly an enabler who is not respecting Justin's wishes or boundaries. I could go on all day about this. I don't want to even go into where the Assanti brothers' troubles began, but the only other thing I'm going to say is Steven on his YouTube channel, he's frequently quoting Eminem and using like the N-word casually, even though he's as white as a ghost. Even I'm darker than him. Even Assanti, like, he even made a video called "Fuck You Haters," in which he talks about them having the nerve to come at me, and talks about them like having nothing going on, say people who brag don't have shit. You ain't got nothing better to do but rip on me. Classic projection, folks. I could go on a whole hour about this, but I'm not going to. So, last thing on the vlog agenda for tonight, just want to give you all a heads up that my newest single, Quasimodo Rising Star Part 1, is up on YouTube and SoundCloud now. Link in description below. And my first mixtape is coming out in a little over 3 weeks on New Year's Eve 2019. And it was originally going to release it on my 24th birthday, but I ran into some copyright issues with a few of the beats, and I got that fixed. And the new launch date for my first mixtape is New Year's Eve 2019, because the whole decade's going to be closing out by default. And now we're about to bring in the roaring 2020s. That's all for tonight, folks. Hoping I'll get more videos up in the future, especially since I'm planning on uploading each song individually from my mixtape onto YouTube in playlist format, so that I get more views per song. Hope you all enjoy my work. I'm up to 260 followers on SoundCloud now. Follow me if you haven't already. JK95 here. Peace out.